Or do you have the courage to be spiritual? Hi, I'm Rev Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind. Do you have the courage to be spiritual? I ask that because in today's secular society, being spiritual can make you an outcast. We're in a society where it seems to be fashionable now to belittle other people if their behavior or their ideas or their race or their sex doesn't fit in with what the dominant tribe dictates that it should be. People are being ridiculed for daring to wear a mask to avoid being infected by the COVID virus. People are being shamed because they happen to be born with white skin. And on the other side of that coin, I can remember being followed by security when I entered an expensive retail store because I'm black. I've seen my son disrespected because others believe he is not really working, while he is in the demanding process of inventing something they've never seen before. I've seen my niece having to be even more by the book than the military man she supervises because she is a woman. I can remember being called a wimp because I wouldn't agree to commit an act that I knew I would regret later because of the ethical line it crossed. Please, click on the thumbs up button below, and if you haven't already done so, please choose to subscribe. Remember, I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, and questions. Please use the chat box on your right or the comment section below this video. You know, people with a religious orientation are often avoided because they're moved to share their beliefs with others in the hope of awakening their spiritual fire. But often, they're charged with that task as part of their spiritual practice. They face resistance because of it. There's so many jokes about Jehovah's Witness missionaries knocking on doors, or Mormon missionaries traveling across the country, or even around the world. I find it interesting, though, that those who actually perform those duties, those missionary duties, are forced to build a certain level of fortitude in order to do what they do. So they end up being some of the most courageous, goal-oriented, and successful people I've ever met. But today I'm not focused on those charged by their religion to spread the word. They're already a part of a strong tribe that will protect them and shield them and to a certain extent control them. No, I'm focused on the many who quietly execute their spiritual practices without the oversight, authority, or protection of a strong, organized, missionary-based religion. I'm talking about those of you who quietly pray in secret. I'm talking about those of you who quietly read uplifting spiritual books or listen to spiritually oriented talks online, or who quietly believe that God is all there is, but don't make waves trying to convert other people to their way of belief. I want to address you who are quietly spiritual, you who often practice your spirituality alone or in very small groups, you who are not interested in convincing other people of the errors of their ways. I want to address you because it is you who are our greatest hope to help change the world. If you have the courage, you have the opportunity to become a light unto the world, a light that is desperately needed. Not by going out into the world to bring the change to others, but by bringing the change to yourself, by committing to a spiritual path and a spiritual practice that brings others to you. I'm encouraging you to become a spiritual warrior by adopting a practice of discipline to elevate your consciousness. I'm asking you, if you decide to accept it, to put yourself into a meditation or prayer practice every day. That practice requires you to participate at least every morning and every evening. In the morning when you arise, in the evening before you go to bed, and eventually more day parts as well. I'm asking you to commit yourself to maintaining ethical behavior, even if it's more profitable to do something else, to do otherwise. I'm asking you to stand up and defend others who are being mistreated because it is the right thing to do. Even if it's going to make you unpopular, I'm asking you to stand up and defend others who are being mistreated because it's the right thing to do, even if it will make you unpopular. I'm asking you to refuse to allow yourself to be involved in gossip and the disparagement of others, because such activity will diminish you spiritually. It will diminish you energetically. I'm asking you to refrain from judging others or holding grudges or seeking revenge. I'm asking you to learn to forgive. Forgive yourself and forgive others. Does that all sound difficult to accomplish? Actually, it is. Such a list of things to do is impossible to accomplish if you try and do them all on your own. In order to accomplish all that, you must surrender. You must surrender to infinite intelligence. Only through surrendering to infinite intelligence can you be given the strength, the energy, the focus, and the courage to complete all that. Only by accepting that infinite intelligence is all there is, and that you are an individualized expression of infinite intelligence, can it all come together for you. Because then you would be tapping into an inexhaustible source, the inexhaustible source. By tapping into the inexhaustible source of infinite intelligence, you will be uplifted and energizing. By tapping into the inexhaustible source of infinite intelligence, you will be guided and assisted. By tapping into the inexhaustible source of infinite intelligence, you will be able to rise above the rejection of those who choose to turn their backs on you, and you will begin to attract those who are seeking the glow of your light and who will appreciate you. Taking the road of the spiritual warrior may lose you the companionship of those who will not like your behavior, who might even ridicule your behavior. But once they've been cleared out of your universe, once they're out of your presence, infinite intelligence will begin to populate your world with a much more joyous and joyful pool of associates who believe as you do. The rewards of a spiritual practice based on being a spiritual warrior are worth the sacrifices. But the ordeal of going through the change calls for determination, and it calls for courage. Do you have the courage to be spiritual? Let us close with prayer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing us all together in this life so that we may become spiritual warriors and join the work we have come here to do. Thank you, Infinite Intelligence, for bringing us into this space of awareness and a deeper understanding of ourselves and our relationship to life and infinite intelligence. Thank you for showing us who and what we really are. We open our minds and hearts to the truth of our being. We are the children of God. We are individualized expressions of infinite intelligence. And because we are part of the greater whole, we are beginning to understand our value to the continuity of life on this planet. And as we become channels of your power, infinite intelligence, we can feel your presence within ourselves and within our lives more and more and more. And we know that as we feel your presence within our lives every day, we will rise, because we are no longer cut off from you by being immersed in the darkness of fear, anger, and the pain of unforgiveness. So we are now restoring our connection through the grace of forgiveness, knowing that as we learn to forgive ourselves for the pain that we have caused to ourselves, and as we learn to forgive those who inflicted pain upon us, our connections will grow stronger and our lives will grow happier and healthier and more prosperous. And for this, we are truly grateful. As above, so below, as within, so without, and so it is. Amen. Please click on the thumbs up button if you haven't already done so. Please choose to subscribe. And remember, I would love to hear your comments, your questions, your suggestions. Use the comment section below or the chat box. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. And you have a great weekend. I am Rev Andrew Bozeman, and this is On the Wings of Your Mind.